so we've got this rhetoric in our churches, and some of it no one meant bad by this, and some of it's good. But anyways, I'm going to stop qualifying, just get myself in trouble. So it's like, don't waste your life.
Oh,
you redeem every moment.
Every moment.
You know,
right?
and that's a great example of a text that we've taken and read in a purely modernist, Western, individualistic kind of way. So the idea of redeeming every moment means, we think that means you must be producing things every moment. Otherwise, it's wasted. And I think that is actually dangerous. Because it fosters an inhumanity. In fact, again, a different pastor from the Midwest, we were recently talking, and he told me, he said, listen, I was energized by this stuff in my 20s, and me and a group of guys got together, and we said, this is how we can only sleep. We can do this. We can do 4 hours of sleep a night. So we'll have more hours every day to honor Christ and, push back against the devil and all that kind of stuff. And he laughed and said, it was crazy, but the truth is that, so even though he didn't actually just sleep 4 hours, that mentality and those expectations that he and others were receiving and fostering, again, he told me, and as I don't know what it is, he's in his late 40s, different guy, different context, different denomination, etc. And he said, I'd been in ministry for 20 years. And I was about to be checked into a mental institution. He said, so one time I had a lunch with a student, and she wanted to talk about these things. And she came to the lunchroom, and we sat down to have lunch, and she pulls out this piece of paper, and it was a chart. It was in one page, showed a week, the 24 hours of a day, and she had color coded it. And every hour was a different, different colors represented different things. And she said, on this chart, I tried to map out what my week is like. And in it, I tried to take into account everything that people I trust, my pastor, professors like you, people who I trust, say, these are things you should do in your day. And so she just shows me this chart. Well, we say, well, listen, right? We all say these kind of things like, well, your body needs like 8 hours of sleep, so you should make sure you sleep 8 hours. Like, all right, mark off 8 hours. We say, well, you're a Christian, you should spend some time in the Word every day and some prayer. So she marks out a little time. And then we say, you need 3 meals a day, and don't just shove McDonald's in your mouth. Actually have a conversation with someone, be more humane. So she creates some space for meal times. And we're like, and I'm in a college, so you have 16 hours of classes. She puts those in. You're like, well, it actually takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get to each class. And then afterwards, and then and then we say, well, in a workplace, it'd be different. But in a classroom, if you have this much, if you're an hour in class, you should study this much out. You see where this is going. It was literally, and I don't use the word literally like a lot of people, I mean, literally impossible for her to do everything that she was told she should do. She could not study as much as we said she should. She could not do all these things. Well, that's actually hilarious when you think about it, because we're telling her to feel guilty for not getting everything done. That's literally impossible to get done. But that is just what's happening. So we are telling people constantly, you need to live at a high level of stress, even though often you're a new parent, you're in your job, whatever it is. It's often impossible to do everything you think you should do. So you're feeling guilty even when it's not possible. So we can't break this. So it is not an episodic moments of stress. It is a life of stress. And you will not make that. There will be destruction at the end of that.
That